No, the quiz you will be seeing is from the original user. To avoid copyright issue, I cut out the parts from the original video and added with a different effect. That way it will not cause any copyright issues. Basically, I just cut out from the original video, not the full part. I hope this will be helping for the YouTube community and enjoy the video. Enjoy. Throughout centuries, there have been several heroes. Finally was right. While there are some heroes who fight for evil, but mostly they fight for good. These heroes fought against those who are tougher, stronger, and even tougher villains. They must have to gain the training, the weaponry, and of course, the amount of power to take on these evil. Or just be like enemy, just train harder and base enough exercise and even get stronger before and then just keep repeating. Mostly there are anime characters that have done the same thing like the original classics, but mostly they gone stronger and even protecting their own planet and even their universe of some sort. And today we're paying two of anime's finest heroes drop off from their anime/manga to bow out to see who is the superior hero, or should I say a superior anime fighter. Monkey D. Luffy, the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates of One Piece, and Natsu Dragneel, the Fairy Tail Skills finest fiery combatant and / member. My name is DeadSoul24 and my job is these two combatants see who win in a deadly duel. The Straw Hat Pirates, always known as the Straw Hat Crew, it's been known as being as an famous and most powerful rising pirate crew known today. Originally from East Blue, that's based on a fun fact. While there are various members of the different eras, including other weird sorts, there is one that's able to lead the first one, which is Monkey D. Luffy. You see, a long time ago, that Luffy was born in the prison village, which is actually kind of peaceful for once. Well, besides the pirates, of course. But in any case, he spent time there, hanging out with his, based on quote-unquote brother, Ace, along with his other friend, Sanji. One day, that Luffy met and befriended a crew of pirates that even led by a captain named Red-Haired Skanks, which is also named himself Stank for some reason. You see, Luffy wanted to join his own crew. However, he was too young to join Stank's crew. However, during one event, Luffy accidentally ate a devil fruit, which is also known as a Go-Go No Money. Is that right? Is that right? Anyways, Luffy bite it, and when he turned into his limbs rubbery, surprisingly, he became useful with Skank, and then they decided, hey, why not record this kid? So eventually, Luffy was joined to the Skank's crew and helped out with his own pirates. Well, until Skank and his crew were ambushed by a random pirate and also along his crew, and Skank lost his arm while saving Luffy. At least there's something that admired, since Luffy is actually admired to Skank since he is his role model after all. So in the conclusion of this, Luffy and Shanks went on their ways. But Luffy did make a promise. One day he'll surpass Shanks and his crew so he can become superior. So then years later he formed his own pirate crew known as the Straw Hat Pirates. With his crew, he's proven time again that Straw Hat Pirates are the most infamous. To be fair, Monkey D. Luffy is pretty much an interesting and one of the most funniest character I could ever think of. Well, second, Goku. But anyways, despite being as a captain pirate, he also known for his supernova and also present, and with the Devil Fruit user, he's pretty much invincible. Now before we get to more of the infamy, I had to tell you about something about the Devil Fruit. The Devil Fruit is pretty much mystic fruits that are found throughout the world. When a person consumes it gains a special ability from the fruit. For example, the Ace 80 Devil Fruit that is on fire. While Luffy gains ability, it becomes his body much more stretchable, almost similar to Fantastic Four's Reed Richards. But despite this, it's pretty good in hand-to-hand combat, and with it helps him some pretty cool techniques. For starters, his Haki. Haki is a power contained in all living beings, so basically kind of like a hidden potential. With it, he pours some. Well, there's three types of Haki. Crucial is where the user senses the presence of others. Brusco is where invisible armor around the user increases defense. Also with his rarest one, the Haki, the rare type Haki that only a million people have it. In short term, it gives him invisibility. But anyways, with his Devil Fruit ability, he has gained some really good attacks, such as a Gum Gum and Pistol, where he pulls out his arm in before stretching out and punching his opponent. The Gum Gum Gonly, when he rapid fire stretches punches, Gum Gum Bullet is where it will be out at best, charge the opponent and stretch out before he strikes down. With Gum Gum Balloon, that's right. Anyways, he inhales himself deeply and pulls his own body to deflect attacks and surprisingly in a chubby way, closer to Majin Buu. But anyways, he also has the Gum Gum Storm. When he inhales, his warm body launches into the air and does fatal barrels of punches in air attacks, and even towards opponents as well. Surprisingly, with the anime of One Piece, he has 4 gears. The first one you already know, his base form, but his second form is actually much tougher. Second gear, it gains Luffy to stretch out his blood veins, making his thicker and speeds up his blood flow. And with Gum Gum Bazooka and Burn through the strongest defense techniques. With his third gear, went Luffy's by his thumb before even blowing up into it, inflating his arm into the gigantic size. Jesus! But then stop there. No, he had a home fusion where Luffy bits into his thumb and blows into a infernal third gear for some reason. It doesn't actually make sense to be honest. But his most powerful gear is his 4th gear, what I know as Bounceman. When Luffy holds his body with impulsive to Haki before bringing to his own forearm, it blows him into a massacre statue, or actually statue, and even inflated in its own, it increases the size and upper body, and most powerful technique is the Gun Gun Kong Gun, and composed with his arm before even launching a powerful short-range attack. Luffy earned his title as the captain of the Straw Hat Pirate crew for a reason. He was bounty for $1,500,000,000 for bounty, with Luffy feats and also crimes as well against the world government. But he defeated some of the most powerful pirates in the world, including some are big tougher and cannot even been defeated once. And surprisingly, he defeated 3 then warlords of the sea, Crocodile in the Earthsea, Jumbersea in the Jessica, and Kuko Matcha on the Drear Bark. That's right, that's it right. But anyways, he also defeated Bruin in one punch. Not similar to One Punch Man, if you're saying. He even matches with Cultural White Lun in combat. Plus, surprisingly, he was able to eat at least his body weight in food in 1/4 of a second. Surprisingly, Ruby is pretty much hungry. He reminds me of another person, but much more round and pink. Oh well. Anyways, Ruby is pretty much the strongest pirate captain known to date in anime. But that doesn't mean he is that powerful. Like any user of the Gunga crew, he can't even swim, wire fresh, or even well summon as well. And verbal to sea stone in his body can't able to embrace more than have an increase. Plus, his rubber bike has no resist to sharp objects like knives or even point blank bullets, like anything that is sharp. But despite his rubber body, his only resort or reason to survive can only be on poison. Only poison. Sometimes it can kill him, sometimes it only harm him, but still, he can be still harmed by any mere attacks besides poison. And to be honest, if what actually holds back his potential is that surprisingly he is pretty stupid and can be easily been distracted a lot by food or even grief or guilt. But all I'm saying is that Luffy is proven time again he is not no mere child in combat. Luffy proven so wisely why he's a pirate captain for a reason. He's proven time again and even defeated the most powerful of the pirates in the world. It pretty much says that this is one captain you can put down. The Fairy Tail Guild. Being created as the strongest guild in the Kingdom of Free. It was originally disbanded after the aftermath of Gear War. Anyways, this was stored for the powerful wizards, whether strongest or just plain fighters. One that have potential skill, whether become adventurous or even will become strongest. However, this one person pretty much had it all, named Natsu Dragneel. However, before everything happened to Natsu, it was back then when he was a little kid. You see, back then, he lived with a normal life, along with his normal parents. And despite this, he had pretty much a good life at most, along with his brother Zekfi. Is that right? Anyways, it never actually lasts long. Why I say that? Well, because one day, a group of dragons came to Natsu's village, and trying to burn down, kill, and eventually murder a bunch of people, even causing his parents and his life to be in the end. So it was the end of Natsu's life. However, his own brother, Zekfi, or Zekri is how you pronounce his name, managed to survive the massacre of his village and desperately trying to find a way to bring back Natsu. However, it took harder than imagined. However, he find out the only way to do this, he must become the most powerful and ruthless being alive, when he had to learn the powers of his own, in order to bring back Natsu. And surprisingly, it worked. It managed to bring back Natsu, though in some strange way, he managed to turn Natsu back to living, but gave him the power of half demons for some reason. He's anime after all. Everything's great for Zekri, if I pronounce his name right. However, due to his cruel nature, he cannot unable to take care of his own little brother. So for last resort, he traveled back to the past and give his friend Icarus a Talking Dragon to chase Natsu and take care of him while he trying to control his own power. Soon after, Natsu was taken care of by Izuri, and then later on years later, he was later top and based on his Dr. Fire's ways, including joining to join the Fairy Guild, where he met, pronounce his name right, Gary Buster, and also Eric Scarlet. Together they became a band of Fairy Guild's strongest, along with Lucy, of course. On this day, in the current one at least in the final season, Natsu became the strongest Fairy Tail Guild member and managed to increase his flame higher and defeated several foes. Basically enough, Natsu is willing to take on any challenge, even though there are some flaws to his abilities. To be fair, he is surprisingly over around 400 years old. Well, after the second Taxi, which turned out to be 18, it's a little bit confusing here and there. But despite this, as a former Ensuri and also and Project, and also the Dragon Slayer and the Fairy Tail Master, Natsu is pretty much a skilled combatant and pretty much know how he can do. If his ability have both demon, dragon, and also human, he gained abilities far beyond the Fairy Tail gear. For example, the Fire Dragon Slayer magic. With a magic of the Dragon Slayer, it can be used in many different ways in combat, such as the Fire Dragon Warrior. Natsu's signature attack, where he busts a shot of flaming fire out of his mouth. And knowing that, he also had the Fire Dragon's Iron Fist, where it's based on it turns flames into fists. Plus, he has the Dragon Slayer's secret art, such as the Crimson Blade, where a Fire Dragon Fist, where he uses it to rapidly punches his target with his hands lifting and bursts and creating a flame explosion. He also has Crimson Lens, where an explosion flare blast, which crosses his arm and then creating powerful and highly destructive power capability. He also learned the Lightning Fire Dragon mode. It's kind of like a combination of both lightning and fire. And plus, with it, he managed to learn another technique called the Lightning Fire Dragon War. It is similar to the Fire Dragon War, but the only difference is he makes it with a enchanted power of lightning, of course. He also has the Dragon Force, which is to be said to be the final and most powerful state of a Dragon Slayer. That even it have been said that able to destroy the time of a real dragon. And with it, he had a hidden fire form where Christian Lance being his blade, where basically his whole entire body, and resort to, well, charging it towards the target, sending down into the air. Also, I forgot to mention, he can also eat fire, even though it wasn't in the analysis, but he can able to eat fire like it's nothing. But anyways, he also has the Savage Dragon Fire form, when Natsu to the flame of emotions, increases his body and much more power than ever before. And he also has the Dragon Federation, where Natsu has been shown that ability entering form that where he body left side because more dragon-like, of course. He also has the Fire Dragon King mode. With it after training for a year, Natsu gained this ability. When he uses it, it boosted himself into the power of a Fire Dragon King. It can be a result of potential, maybe ability itself, when it uses the power to fully that charge, giving the user incredible heat. He also has the 7th Flame Dragon, where it gathers all the powers of the 6 Dragon Slayers. And surprisingly, he also has the power of Iglis. After 10 months of training to restore the elimination of Iglis' remainings, let's go with it. He gained ability that capable to use the power of the Fire Dragon himself. Plus, his end form, surprisingly, is an asset to his distant power after massive magic in chess, enchanted by Commander T like all is great. However, there's one more mode / form to gain his ability, which is the 7th Flames Dragon mode. Except with the powers of Gary, Wendy, Lucy, Cobra actually and Rogue, Natsu is able to transform to this form and even stronger than all his previous forms before him. And with it, he had the most powerful and ultimate attack, the Ultimate 7 Flame Dragon Fist. Pulls out all the power inside him and shaped it into a giant dragon fist. Surprisingly, Natsu with these forms and also the techniques and modes, he proved time again why he's a Dragon Slayer for a reason. He defeated just basic also spirit body in the spirit world with the combined power of all the other Dragon Slayers. So by joining mirror level magic, he even was able to lift a stone without an issue, well, maybe a little. Plus, he was able to one-shot a war god for a massive reason. Plus, surprisingly, he is much more faster than I can see, and he was surprised to melt a Colosseum with his heat, ending with his opponent and people around him melting their clothes off, both figuratively and literally. And to be honest, Natsu's really a hothead for sorts. Sorry, I gotta get out of my head. Well, jokes aside, Natsu at best is a Dragon Slayer, but he is known to have flaws. He, with his strongest form of Fire King Dragon mode, he can only use it once. Plus, with his magical resort of a wizard's stamina and also running out completely means a game over. Plus, like any Dragon Slayer, he had motion sickness right from cars, trains, and surprisingly boats. Natsu had his own flaws as well, but despite this, Natsu had proven time again that even with his flaws, he still proved time again that he is no doubt challenger cannot be beaten. He proved that he can able to take on the likes of a war god and even have a scenario to save the guild. In short, this is one Dragon Slayer that you cannot face against. Alright, competitors have been done analyzed. Before I reveal who's the winner, let's go see the results that you guys voted. Alright, over 23 votes, that Monkey D. Luffy gets 52.2% and Natsu Dragneel gets 47.8%. Another close one, and surprisingly, yeah, it is pretty close. Anyways, let's get to the comment section, and there's pretty a lot. Well, kinda, but still, let's just get to it. Once again, Phantom Magilla returns. He stated that Natsu is not only faster on a hypersonic scale, but he also ironically beat better range and offense attack. Luffy has no encounter, and that's pretty good interesting. There's pretty more, but going to say it, Natsu can't literally burn time or something. And then I cannot pronounce the name, but state that she thinks that Natsu burns, but goes in the side to say he. Sorry, but say that he thinks that Luffy will win. And it's stated that from Gura's. Anyways, he said that he called the devil fruit, and yes, Luffy would bite his head off. But, she said no, he won't, but Gura said that he'll copy more from Luffy's series and develop a fire. And that's pretty good interesting. Anyways, let's get to the winner. And the winner between two of the anime's bravest and strongest anime heroes is Natsu Dragneel. And oh boy, I have a feeling that many of One Piece fans gotta be raging at me. Well, to be fair, even though I didn't include the fourth gear art forms such as, well, the Snake Man and also the Tank Man, it worth mentioning that, but in the end, I had to say that Natsu still came out the victor, and here's the reasons. Now for speed, this isn't kind of tricky, but if I were to get a guessing man, I had to give it to Luffy. To be honest, Luffy is pretty much the most fastest out there. While both Luffy and Natsu have improved their skills even with their current season, but in the end, I had to give Luffy the speed advantage. He's proven time again, he is much more faster, and while Natsu claimed to be faster than a blinking eye, by the end, Luffy definitely gets the speed advantage. However, for the strength, it's pretty close to Natsu. Now, even though with the 4th gear variations, it's strong enough to take on matching Kurta with the snake mode, and even though I didn't appreciate that, but at the end I had to give it to Natsu because at his best, he managed to defeat the post-space time street Kumna. Now at best, at post sword being named Alkota, he managed to be twice as strong than before. He even once overpowered the 7 Dragon Slayers at most, and plus he was able to absorb the space between time, surprisingly, it be stated that it was created to destroy the time with the front of 5 Dragon Slayers, and even ended costing 400 years ago. So yeah, if I were to compare with Natsu's strength to take on Alkura, and guess what Luffy's managed to take on Cracker, and also with the basic soldiers, and even once defeated King Cobra, well actually current Cobra, but in the end, it's pretty pale comparison. The strength bench I still giving to is Natsu Dragneel. However, the intelligence is pretty much clarified that I had to give to both of them. Well, at best, no, these two may not be at best have IQ, but in the end, intelligence definitely goes to those two because they have both learned from the best Even from Dan and the current kid, they're both strong enough and have much more intelligence to take on several people, even learning them at best. Although if I were given an experience, I had to give to Natsu. The reason why I gave an experience to Natsu is because while both of them have faced off tougher opponents, Natsu had much more experience against more tougher opponents, such as Arceus, and also he was able to dodge and even take on some other strongest ones out there. While Luffy can't even take on this powerful pirates, but in the end, the experience definitely goes to Natsu. However, if I were given durability, I had to give it to Natsu. While at best, while Luffy has survived some blows before, but remember, he only resists to poison, and he can only be affected, well, maybe affected to other stuff such as swords or even sharp things, but he only resists to poison. So if I were compared to Natsu, he has survived much for ton of bullets such as the post-space absorbent Ashura is pretty much mandatory. Sorry if I don't pronounce their names right, but in the end, Luffy have much advantages such as speed, and Luffy had much for intelligence, but in the end, Natsu pretty much outquested Luffy in every from strength, experience, and durability. Now, if I were to say one thing that why Luffy cannot beat Natsu, and for actually one reason, is that due to his fact that his experience and remember, if I remember correctly, Luffy was going to be killed by a man named Elski, or sorry, I cannot pronounce her names rightly, but if it weren't for Ace's death, then Luffy could have been killed by sorry, I forgot to pronounce his name, but you know what I'm gonna say, but it shows that Luffy could have been killed by some random pirate, and in the end, he would have been dead meat if it weren't for Ace. Although it could be debatable that Luffy could have survived that, but in the end, Natsu had much more strength to fight tougher bullets and much more experience, while Luffy may have the speed bench, but in the end, it cannot save from Natsu's much more powerful attacks, much more strength and experience, and ton of durability. In the end, Luffy's fairy tale have ended. The winner is Natsu Dragneel.
Same man you found that day. The monster you've created has returned to kill you.